gonna give people a minute to jump on. Get the Facebook Live notification. Hi, Deborah. How are you, lovely? Well, while people are joining, thanks for joining me, peeps. Some people are here now. Cool. Well, I wanted to chat a little bit about XMen and sex and bodies. I have a class coming up this weekend, 2 classes coming up on these topics, and it's actually some of my favorite stuff to play with. Such a different conversation. XMen is a hi Paula, hi everybody, hi Rita. The XMen body of work is basically a conversation in access consciousness about being different, and it's where there's so many places where so many of us think that we are sort of messed up, or because we're different, we think that we're wrong, or we have problems, or we have disabilities. A lot of hey Shayna, a lot of people see their XMen capacities as a disability, and actually the 2-day XMen class is called XMen Disabilities or Abilities, because it's really a conversation about, hey, what if we actually saw everything that we think is wrong with us, wrong about us, and we actually flipped that and started to see everywhere that you think you're wrong, everywhere that you think you can't do things, everywhere that things don't work out for you, everywhere that things go weird for you. What if you actually started to get underneath the judgments that you have of that and actually realize that it's a greatness, that it's your capacities, that you have gifts in these areas, but they don't match what we see in the world. We're born into the world, and so many of us sort of try to make ourselves normal. We try to literally normalize ourselves. I'm gonna see if I can adjust this because I can't let go of my little tripod now. So many of us try to make ourselves normal, and we try to make ourselves fit into the rest of the world. But that's not actually something that's going to work, because you're not actually normal. That's the good news. You're not actually normal. I mean, you might be trying really hard to be, but if you're watching this, chances are you're not normal. But you try to be, and so what we do is we use, and a lot of times, so many of us have so much awareness, and this is part of what's true for XMen, is XMen have so much awareness of everybody around us and everything, and we're perceiving all these different universes at the same time simultaneously, and we're perceiving different people's worlds and different points of view and different ways that things work and different bodies and different realities all the time simultaneously. And we think that it's all ours. We think it's our thoughts. We think it's our way of being in the world. We think, well, problem is we think, period. We could just end there. But we think that, what we're aware of is even relevant to us. Thanks, Paula. Yeah, this is the, fresh out of bed look. But because XMen are actually quite brilliant, and what is an XMen? An XMen is just somebody who's different. It's not even something that you can define. It's somebody who has capacities to function beyond this reality, to have awareness beyond this reality, that can't be defined in this reality. And what happens is XMen, we have all these incredible energetic capacities and, capacities for perceiving energies and, all these different things that we're aware of. And we use them to actually gain information from people around us as to how we should function in the world so that we can fit, rather than actually go, oh, I'm different. I don't actually function like anybody else in the world. I don't function like the rest of the world. It's not relevant to me to get information from other people, other bodies, other whatever universes as to how I should function. It's actually up to me to get the information from my own awareness and my own being as to how I can function in the world that's actually going to work for me. And then we begin to kind of chart our own territory, like our own course, and show up in the world in a way that actually works for us, that is fun, that is joyful, that is generative and creative, that allows us to have so many different experiences and realities, and create the business that you love, create the body that you'd like to have, create the whatever it is. And yeah, everybody's like, so not normal. That's funny. I thought I was normal until I don't think I even really knew what normal was. But I was like, well, I'm not really different, And then I realized, oh, so that was that. But one of the things so there's a whole universe of stuff we could talk about with that, with XMen, and just basically it's like you're aware of a million things, and then you use it all against you, That's pretty much like a summary of what a lot of XMen do in the world. And so if we look at that when it comes to our bodies, and when it comes to sex and copulation and actually like playing with other bodies, it's like, whoa, this is huge universe of where you're aware of 8 million other people, and you're aware of their sexual realities, and you're aware of bodies, and you're aware of like everybody who's having sex right now, or who had sex earlier today, or who's ever had sex, or is ever going to have sex, or like, it's like our awareness is way bigger than we think it is. And so when you go into a particular area, whether it's about money or a business or sex or whatever, you're going to pick up on everybody else's stuff. And what happens is when you bring that into the bedroom, or when you bring that into how you are with your body, it can be really hard to get a sense of what's actually true for you, what's actually true for your body, what's actually true in this situation with this person, with this other body. It can be really tricky to get a sense of how that all plays, and what's actually going to work, what's going to create, what's true for you, because you're in everybody else's universe and you're not actually in your own universe. And so the area of, it's one of my favorite things to play with, is this conversation about XMen with sex, because there's so much opening that can occur in people's worlds around sex and being with other bodies when you get the tools of XMen, the XMen conversations and classes, and you get to see what's true for you, how you can perceive your body, what you're aware of that you didn't think you were aware of, all these things that nobody talks about. So we don't even have the information to actually go, oh, I'm not terrible, I'm not awful, I'm not off, I'm not wrong, I'm not incapable. I've talked to a lot of people about sex, XMen and sex conversations, where they're like, I don't even want to have sex because it's so not fun for me, or I want to have sex, but I can never find somebody to have sex with that actually where it works, or it's confusing, or it's painful, or it's, whatever. It's like, there's so many different things that go on in people's sexual realities that have way more to do with their awareness of their like extreme awareness and the capacities that actually reside therein, that they've actually used against them to believe that they're wrong, than it does about any sort of like physical thing or an emotional thing or whatever. It's like, and so it's been so cool for me to have these conversations and see people go, wow, I could actually consider actually having sex now. Or, their whole sexual reality has changed from these conversations, because they have really different conversations, really different tools, really different awareness now that nobody teaches you in school. Your parents don't talk to you about it. Your guru doesn't talk to you about it. Your therapist doesn't talk to you about it, because these are conversations that very few people actually know about, especially the XMen conversation, and how to really be in the world as an XMen in such a way that you're not judging you all the time, but you're actually thriving and enjoying you and how you work and the capacities that you have for magic and miracles and to create things totally beyond this reality. Hey, Albina. And then you can start to create things beyond this reality in your sexual world, with your body, whatever you're creating with your body that you would like to create with your body. You can start to create something really different, not put your body in the box of how everybody else's body functions or how your body is supposed to function, but actually putting your body, like being aware of your body as it is. It's your body, like XMen bodies are literally like different creatures. Like our bodies are different creatures. They don't function the way that a lot of other bodies in the world function, like the standard way of functioning. They actually function with as like capacities and a speed and a ease and an energetic, like we are energetic beings, and our bodies actually function more like that than they are, like in sort of human reality. But if that's not something you've ever looked at, played with, gotten tools to, explore, then how do you even know where to begin? How do you know where to begin to have a different reality with your body? How do you know where to begin to have a different sexual reality? You kind of don't, which is why a lot of people are like, well, I may as well just not do it, So I wanted to just introduce this, and for some of you, this might be an introduction to a different conversation. For some of you may have heard this before or parts of it, and maybe it expands your awareness in some way. But to really start to explore what's true for you with all of this. And what if your body wasn't like other bodies? What if your sexual reality wasn't like other people's sexual realities? What if you don't function the way that other people function? And what if that's not wrong? What if that's a brilliance? What if that's a capacity? What if that's like really a greatness of you that you haven't known what to do with because you didn't have the information and you didn't have the awareness and you didn't have the tools? When you have the awareness and the information and the tools, oh my God, the world is your oyster. It's so cool what we can create and what you can discover about, what you know that nobody else knows. It's a really cool exploration. So I'm starting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday, I'm doing a 2-day XMen class, Disabilities or Abilities. It starts at 9 a.m. in Colorado, so 5 p.m. in Central Europe time. And that's a 2-day class, a really epic class that is like a massive, it's like the get out of judgment intensive. This 2-day class to me is like, you just get to like watch people, like the judgment in people's worlds just melt right out of their worlds. It's so cool. And we talk about a lot of the things like the abilities that we have as XMen that are deemed disabilities in this reality, and capacities that are kind of in like where you think you might be incapacitated, but you've got capacities. So we have that class going on online and here in Boulder. Are there prereqs? The prerequisite for the 2-day XMen class is either Foundation, Access Consciousness Foundation, or the 1-day XMen class. And if you don't have either one of those and you want to do it, you can buy the 1-day class. Just let me know if you would like to do that. Then on Sunday, I'm going to do a 1-day class. It's a separate class called Sex and Bodies. And the XMen 2-day class is a prerequisite for that class this time around, because I want it to be a whole conversation for the people. Hey, Carmen. So a Sex and Bodies class on Sunday where we're going to take the XMen conversation and go deeper with Sex and Bodies and really explore that universe. I am so excited. I cannot even tell you. It's going to be so good. It's happening here in Boulder in my home for people that are in the U.S. There's also going to be Brazilian or Portuguese translation. So there's people in Brazil that are doing it. There's Spanish translation. There is Slovenian and Croatian translation. And there's actually going to be a pop, like a party of people getting together in Zagreb, Croatia, to do the class together at Sneža Nagotstein's house and Lars at their home. And so anyway, there's lots of options. You can watch it on your own too. But come and play. It's going to be, I've never done this combination before. This has been in the works since January, at least, these classes. And we've had to adjust because of COVID and stuff. I was going to go to Slovenia and I was going to go to Brazil and do them there this summer, but obviously that didn't happen. So it's really going to be a global class, 5 different languages, and really cool, really, really cool stuff that, conversations that, haven't existed before. If you would like a different reality, just even to be as magical and really have access to your capacities, the XMen class is amazing. And like I said, it's such a massive get out of judgment class. It's just such a gift. And then different reality with sex and bodies. After 2 days of XMen, deep diving into a whole day of sex and bodies, it's going to be freaking epic. So come and play. We start Friday morning. And you can go to my website, heathernichols.com, /XMen online or /sex and bodies online. But you can just look at my website on the classes page if you'd like to join us. I wonder what we can create. Did I mention I'm excited? I'm really excited. And the Generative Business Pod starts on Thursday too. So it's quite the week. I'm just really stoked. Thanks, Ruth. Awesome. Thank you. So come play and let's be as different and weird and wonderful and miraculous and alive and enthusiastic and sexually yummified as we can be. All right, guys, thanks for being here with me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. I always just want to hang for longer on Facebook Live because I love hanging with people all over the world. But I will let you all go. Thanks for being here. Mwah! And go have fun being weird and different and wonderful. And just know there's nothing wrong with you or about you at all. Never has been. You're actually just more brilliant than most of the world. And the rest of the world won't tell you that because they don't want you to know. But when you know, boy, oh boy, what you can create is pretty dang cool. So thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.